Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. And welcome to a new week of sound likes. Now I call them sound likes. Per my current standing theory that a majority of Chinese is made of not just sound maker, because these are sound likes, but these sound makers also carry their meaning. So here is another week of examples to show you how these sound likes not only mark the sound of a character, but also brings its original meaning to make the new character. Okay, so here the starting point. Well, this is not a very basic or common Chinese. You probably have learned Chinese for a while before I came across this one. But this is, once you learn it, it is a beautiful character in the sense of the visual proportion. As you can see, it's made of three parts. The top looks like the sun, and the middle looks like a TV stand of IKEA furniture, right? Three boxes horizontal. And the bottom looks like, I don't know, like a stand of sorts. But okay. It's not exactly what you see. If we look at 2,000 years ago and even earlier versions, a lot more details. It's not as boxy. It's not as straightforward, or not straightforward. Actually, the ancient versions were more faithful or loyal to the meaning trying to express here. Okay, so this is man. Okay. No, man is English. I was kind of for a moment flipped my language gear. It should be man. Okay. Man. Even if it's spelled as man and pronounced kind of like, but actually in Chinese it's pronounced as man. Okay. The meaning in short version, it means long. There were some kind of a twisted plot of why it means long. Okay, let's look at the original, which is this is even earlier version is a bronze cast kind of vessels that was preserved. So if it's a bronze cast, you know only kind of the richest, the most powerful in the land were able to afford such a technology that you cast some bronze to preserve your message to later generations and millennials down the line. And this is what I see. And it gotta be, because it was made from a mold making, right? It's a casting. So the artisans back then had a ton of time to craft the image. And you can see, compared with the top, which was Shen's dictionary, probably handwritten, the seal script probably was a hand-carved material as well. The difference is the hand-carve in the seal script probably is a different material. So the effect came out differently versus metal at the bottom, and the top probably is a stone because the seal made of some carvable, malleable stone. It's still a slow process to create a character. But the earlier version, the bronze cast, probably 3,000-4,000 years ago, that discovered later, described an eyeball. And you look at it, it's kind of like an eyeball, right? Almost realistic look, like a cartoon eyeball. And then the top and bottom looks symmetrical, almost symmetrical, and got this kind of elegance to it, almost like to my eyes, looks just like age in Neolithic, post-Neolithic civilizations. They had this not only symbols used as decorative, but also carry meaning. But still the decorative part still preserved. It's not purely just for the function. It has to look good as well. Make meaning look good. So the top and bottom looks almost kind of a 180-degree flip. It describes the two hands, and it doesn't look like human hands, but it actually meant for human hands. I know it looks like a bird's hand, right? Like a claw thing. But originally it means the eye covered by two hands. So basically the eye was doing this, trying to create a little cover or shade on top of your eyes so that you were able to see far, to kind of block out the sun, because ancient times probably they don't have baseball cap or shade like today's technologies to keep our vision in strong sunlight. So ancient time solution was just this. Later on, 2,000 years ago, Shen dictionary, keep the hands. And the hands looks a lot less elegant, right? It's kind of like that. Okay, three-finger hand symbol, I call it. And then the eyeball also got simplified. Instead of keeping the eyeball like an almond shape, and I mean, eyeball has to be a ball shape, right? Like the original carving. And this is a kind of a trained, paid at the best of a class artisan that preserved later. We were able to see artistic rendering. Compared to that, this is a lot more simple. Almost like a battery symbol, right? With two diagonal lines. So eyeballs were simplified and the curve got straightened. And then the top is completely different. It's no longer a hand anymore. Well, as we've seen this structure shape in the character of cap or hat, when we saw ancient headgear. So this is one of the solutions. As you can probably imagine, this outer line is this cover, this dome shape kind of a cover. And again, the corners were rectangularized. Like whose head would have this? So it got to be formed like this, right? And we have to kind of step back and imagine the ancient technology, how to make cap or hat. It was not that easy because this is a three-dimensional shape. It's not a straight. Making a box is easy. Make a dome is not, right? And then what about those two horizontal lines? The first horizontal line, okay, this, I didn't really flip through ancient classical literature to find out exactly what an ancient hat would look like. This is just a quick check with AI. So take what you will, but I kind of try to stay critical of what AI told me. The first layer, the top layer, horizontal line, is the lining underneath this outer cover. And also not only the outer cover, but the front, right in front of our forehead, right? That section have to be covered. So I guess to make a dome shape, the front portion, just like a contemporary hat too, the front portion is a different panel of fabric. And then they make all kinds of darts, carded, cut it in a several pieces, kind of like a watermelon pieces, right? So you can piece together by several 2D shapes to form a 3D dome. Well, the question is, what's the second line? Why there's a second line there beneath it? Well, this is according to AI that this is a sort of like a hairpin to kind of penetrate, go through the front of the hat as well as your hair, because ancient times people don't cut their hair. There were no, I shouldn't say there were no hairdresser, because ancient times people don't cut their hair, so extremely long hair could be hard to keep, right? So actually ancient hair washing, hair keeping, styling probably was more of a thing, because today we kind of simplify it by cutting it shorter. But ancient times when people don't cut their hair, they pull up into a bun and then use this hairpin to connect, to secure the hat to your head. As we can imagine, later days when we have these fasteners, these clips, or all kind of like buttons, zippers, that was later inventions to keep our garment or accessories on, stay put on our body parts. It was not a given. Like it was a long evolution of clothing technology. So back then, the hairpin was the solution. So why a means long? This is related to this gesture, because this implies we want to see far. when we want to have the best vision to see far, to block out the sun, right? That gives you the sense of you're really trying to extend your vision to as far as you can see. Therefore, you do this. And this later days, the hat probably provide kind of the shade as well. And even with the hat, we still keep that three-finger hand symbol there to give you the hand gesture that when it's almost like today too, when we humans, we try to look afar, we tend to do this, right? It's just automatic in our genes. So that describes that. So by the action of seeing, trying to see far, we actually describe the distance, the result, what's being seen in that gesture. Amazing, right? Okay, examples. 曼妙曼舞曼谷. Okay, 曼妙妙. We came across several weeks ago. And miao, it means wonderful. Originally, it was about this mystery, like two circles connected like an infinity sign. It's about metaphysics. And later literature, men mostly, think, well, that's a little bit too abstract. So they switch out the mystery symbol, the infinity, with woman symbol on the left. And of course, that's easier to understand to any straight man that women in their golden age, prime age, were wonderful. So they use that woman, young woman, 少. Probably in this case, we can understand it as younger because we have 少年 as well. And we have 少女. So if we flipped the imagery, that means kind of young girls, young ladies. And that's equal to wonderful. All right. And 慢, it means long, long and wonderful. What could that be? Well, it describes a kind of a super simplification or standard complement to good performance arts, the effect of performance art. And 慢, normally, as we describe here, 慢舞 means dancing. We use long, the sense of distance or extension attached to dance. I took dancing classes a few times, and especially in ballet, which had this strict formula and posture standards. The instructor would just tell you straight ahead that to have a best visual effect on stage, to bring the best of you to audience, you need to elongate, you need to extend, you need to almost like create the line by your human body as long, far-reaching as possible. Therefore, our arms, especially the back and the neck, try to stretch as long as possible. And I think this is kind of universal because this, in Chinese language, it captured a good dance, how that will look. It's long, it's extended dance. It doesn't mean, it's the opposite of shrink, shrivel, diminish. It's expand, extend, and bring the best presence by extending your body. Okay, so 慢妙, in this 妙, probably it could describe music making. So one is visual arts, 慢, and 妙 would be audio arts. And they often pair together in general to describe performance arts. And the last one, 曼谷 means valley. We talked about that last year, at least. And 曼谷 actually is a Chinese translation of, what is it called? The capital of Thailand, Bangkok. Bangkok doesn't sound like Mangu, but probably because early Chinese travelers been there, came across Bangkok, and the place was located in a long valley. Therefore, it became not a sound translation, but a meaning translation. And Mangu, for Chinese audience, it sounds so romantic already because it's a valley, and man as the association with performance arts, almost like instantly provide, okay, that's a beautiful place. And here I'm picking this picture as vividly mimicking the original man, this two hands near the eyeball symbol as possible. That's the origin of how Chinese create the concept of long. Thank you for your time. See you another day.